One of my biggest pet peeve in art in the recent years is that a lot of artists tend to draw the faces in the same way that they almost look identical, even though they're different characters. I see this a lot in anime and webcomics. Are you telling me that this character and this character are different characters? Really? I mean, to each their own, but in my opinion, having a variety in art will help you stand out more in this vast ocean we call the internet. It just so happened that I can give you some tips so you can draw different faces. One of my favorite drawing style is from the video game Professor Layton. Let me know in the comments below if you love that game. The reason why I love it is because of the variety of their characters. One of the ways they achieve this is by using different shapes on their characters. Now, to be fair, their style is a bit cartoony, so it meshes really well. However, we can apply this in semi-realistic, anime style, or any style really. For starters, we can draw different kinds of facial shapes. Obviously, it does depend on the character's body. I mean, look at some photographs of people and you can see that they have different facial shapes. That's one of the factors that makes us look unique. Don't limit yourself with just this facial shape. Try to draw it round, or square, or wide. You'd be surprised by the amount of variety you can do. Speaking of shapes, we can also draw different shapes for the eyes. In my opinion, this is the part where you can have a lot of varieties. You know the quote, the eyes are the window to the soul? By drawing different eyes to your character, you can give them different kinds of personalities. For example, this character has some kind of pointy eye shape. Based on this, I see them as confident, fearless, or they can do whatever they want without a care of what people think. This character who has a bit of a rounded eyes, I see them as timid, kind, and yet they look lonely. Of course, you're not limited to these kinds of eye shapes. You can draw a lot of eye shapes, triangles, ovals, squares, dots. You can even use the number 3. The sky is the limit here. Here's a quick tip for you. Slight adjustments can go a long way. Let's draw a sample. Let me know in the comments what kind of personality this character might have. Okay, now let's adjust this a tiny bit. Now tell me what kind of personality these eyes might have. The first one looks like a nice person. After adjustment, I see this as having a cool personality, like a rebel or something. We've achieved that by playing with the curved lines just a little bit. Let's focus on the eyes a bit more. Another thing you can do to give variety on your faces is to play with the angles. Let's go back to this character. I actually made their eyes slant a little bit, and I think it gave it an extra confidence boost. Now, what would happen if we rotated the eyes in the other direction? Well, they look a bit tired. Like a disgruntled twin. Just by adjusting it, made it look like a different character. By the way, you can also apply this to the nose and mouth. Play around and experiment. Another thing we can do is play around with the proportion. Now, a lot of drawing tutorials will tell you to draw the face at a certain measurement. I would like to tell you to draw that advice out the window. What makes our faces unique and recognizable is the different proportions. Make the eyes bigger. Make the irises really small. Draw them slightly closer to each other. Make the nose very wide. The mouth very thin. Play around with lots of combinations, just like how you create a character in a video game. Don't limit yourself to just this type of face. The most fun thing about art is the variety you can create with it. Once you've satisfied with your facial designs, you can draw it in various angles as a practice. If that's the case, check out this video on the right so you can draw faces in various angles.